Okay, this is going to be a really different what if video than I normally do, so just bear with me for a second here. Now, we all know of what ifs, either by fanfictions or YouTubers who do them for basically a living. Not everyone does, but they at least make a lot. And you guys you might know me from my Blake What If. I'm not going to be talking about that, or the current one I'm working on. In fact, as the title of this video states, I'm going over a little bit of the weirder / impossible ones. Now, we all have heard at least of some of these. For me, there's many random what ifs, like what if Yamcha destroyed the world, or what if Hercule was what if Hercule was a Z fighter? Both are Masako X videos, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check them out on his channel. I am not in support of it. Well, I'm not in. Basically, I don't know the guy, but I do recommend watching his videos. They're pretty good. And yeah, I'm mostly just going to be talking about videos we all have at least one of those random what ifs. Me, I actually have a few of them. Now, some of them are actually pretty good, and I just don't really have an idea on how to start them. And some are just way far out. I'll get to some of those later, but right now I'm just gonna start with the front of my book. And yes, I write all the what if ideas I have down and at least points on what I want to do with those what ifs. They all have many different themes, so don't expect it to be organized. The first one after the Blake one, since that was the first what if I came up with, is what if Whites was a Faunus? Now, normally, it's a good idea. Yeah, especially if you've seen YouTube. Many RWBY YouTubers at least played with this concept. Even one who did a few what ifs at least made one about what if Whites was a Faunus. Didn't really go past that episode, but beggars can't be choosers. Honestly, I could go back to this. I just really need to focus on what to do with it. And afterwards, because right now, with how much I have for it, the best I can do is either a short or a one-shot. Mostly because just being a Faunus doesn't really change much of her personality. To the point it will change the events of the story. So yeah. In my opinion, it would be more of a one-shot. But not necessarily a bad thing either. And if I just put a little more thought into it, I can make it bigger. I at least have what I want to start it off with and go a completely different route than others. Again, as I mentioned, the person who I'd seen do this concept went with the entire Weiss was not really Jock's daughter. And the version I wanted, I honestly just wanted to play around with it, how to make it happen and still have the same character. Or in sense of the character we're using. So, honestly, if you guys are interested in any of these, just please let me know and let me know which ones you'd like to hear more of. And if you have any ideas on how to make these better, again, let me know. the next one actually is, well, I already have it up here since this is one of the more I got, but is, yeah. It's a story I have a great idea for, but not necessarily a good starting point. That's What If Ruby Was a Speedster? Again, and good idea and concept, but when I was writing this, I was more thinking of the Flash live action series, a part of the Arrowverse, if you will. And yeah, I was really stuck on how to make Ruby a speedster and implement dark matter into it. Now, looking back at it, I could actually just use a different method for it, so not really a huge thing. I think I should at least worry about. Oh no. So I might actually come back to this. The next one underneath it, though, however, remember how at the beginning of this I said there was some just fanficky ones or impossible? Yeah, this one is What If Ruby Had the Ninetales? And yeah, just hearing it, you can definitely tell it's more something you could write in a fanfiction. Honestly, I thought it was a fun idea, but I didn't really have a full... I had no clue how to implement it in the story, and I wasn't gonna go the route I did with the Blake What If I did, so yeah. But yeah. It's one of the what ifs I don't really have a huge plan on or might ever make, but I at least wanted to mention it. And speaking of what ifs, I didn't have a full concept of what I was gonna do for the story is what if Velvet had Megacore X? If you don't know what that is, it's basically from Mega Man XZ, where the souls or something of Mega Man X, Zero, and all of them were transferred into cores. Now, unlike the Ninetales one, this one actually had a solid idea behind it. Mostly because Velvet in Ruby is actually one of the most characters I instantly thought of a crossover with. I mean, both Mega Man and Velvet can mimic, copy other people's abilities or weapons, and Velvet's semblance allows her to have mastery over what she's using. Like how Mega Man can use the other Metal Master's abilities as his own. Again, solid concept when you think about it. I just honestly have no clue how to start it or what to do with it. Mostly because it just sounds kind of crazy in my opinion. And also, I don't really know where to start it, as I mentioned before. Or I could start with the young Velvet, but then I would have to go make up things for Velvet and her team. Before the story of Ruby. And what do I do after Volume 3 for that? If any of you guys make it to this point and have ideas for this, I'd like to know, and if you want to use this idea for What If yourself, feel free to go ahead and just let me know if you do post it and on YouTube or something. I really want to hear it. Again, good idea, it's just I don't know how to start it. So again, and as I said before, this one's at least more plausible than the last one I mentioned. Anyways, with both of my more confusing ones out, I'm gonna just go over a few what ifs I do actually like and do have a lot more written down to figure out. Going back to the first page is actually a Ruby My Hero Academia crossover one. I wrote this before or some of the newer comics came out, so Vigilante Deku is not mentioned in this. So you all know. And honestly, I just like the idea. Yeah, because it sounds fun. And looking back at it, however, I could upgrade a few things. And so, yeah, it's gonna need a huge rewrite, but one day I might actually start writing it down and doing the what if. Depends on if you guys are interested or not. Next, however, there is something kind of different. What if Sonic was in Naruto? And I wanted to go an entire Sonic X route for this one. So, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, I added Shadow, and Rouge. They would all be there, and I actually have a lot planned for this series. Also, yes, Eggman would be in it, but surprisingly, he's not a huge antagonist. And the last one I'll be putting for this is actually a what if I got from Clockwork Highlander. Not exactly, but I thought it would be cool. And that's what if Yang had boosted gear. If you don't know what boosted gear is, well, a long while ago when I was still working on the Blake series, a guy or girl did ask me to do a high school DxD what if. I have seen the show, so I know the lore behind it, and that was a little uncomfortable. This is the closest I'm getting since I'm not adding all of what's in there. I'm just altering it so I can have it in the RWBY universe. Also, I did make sure to underline one thing, and that's she is not trading her lifespan and for any power. No, seriously, I actually underlined that. Yeah. But yeah, I actually have, this is, if not the most I've written down for a what if. And looking back at it, it's at least close to the My Hero one and Sonic one. Ironically, I put more thought into those three than the others I have in this book. But yeah, those were some what ifs I like, and ones that would be one shots, and also ones I'm probably never gonna touch up on again. Don't get me wrong, I still have a few other ideas. I mean, during a shopping spree for Valentine's Day, I did kind of come up with a what if Weiss was adopted by Summer. Yeah, that would be more of a one shot, but honestly, I have more. I just didn't write everything down, and I only have a few pages right now. But yeah, if you like this video, please let me know in the comments below. And as I asked, which one was your favorite, and which one do you actually want to see more on this channel? I'll be probably rewriting some of these or coming up with better ideas on how to start these after the Yang Z Fighter one. I have everything written down for that already. So again, let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video, which might actually be part 1.5. I have to do something for that video, so yeah, I'll see you all later. Bye. Sorry if I got loud at that last part.